Hi, it's Chester at Blue Pecan Computer Training, and in this video I'm going to look at two ways of creating organisation charts in Excel. The first method is going to use SmartArt. It'll end up looking something like this. And the other method you'll be able to use if you are using Excel 365, because there's a Visio Addin that will create the organisation chart for you. Now, there are pros and cons of both methods, and a lot of the work is in the preparation of the data. So let's see how we can create both charts. We'll start off with the SmartArt version of the organisation chart, and we're going to look at the data you need in order to create that chart. Now, your basic requirements are going to be the name of the employee, their title, and their manager. The other two columns I've created myself, and they are pretty essential for creating your organisation chart efficiently anyway. So once you've got that data, and you've either imported it from another system or typed it in, we could start with the ID field. Now, this is pretty important in terms of being able to sort your data. You might, for example, have your data in order of name or manager or something like that. But we need a way of sorting these roles and these names so that when it comes to creating the organisation chart, we can easily associate employees with their manager. Now, the way I've done this is I've created outline numbering for the positions within the organisation. So Anthony Taylor is the main director in the company, and he's been given the ID 1. All the assistant directors have been given a number 2, so Charles S. Billings, Joe Morrison, John T. Foster, and Clark Bickerson. But you can see that after the 2, I have a decimal place and then a number. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, they are the people that directly report to the director, Anthony Taylor. Then, for example, anyone who reports to Charles S. Billings also has a 1 after their 2, but has an extra digit. So Ivan Silverstone reports directly to Charles S. Billings. His number is 2.11. Chris Poundsworthy also reports to Charles S. Billings, and his number is 2.12. Let's take another example. Kurt Kamichoff, he reports to John T. Foster. I can see that because he has a 3 after the 2. And he's obviously the third person that reports to John T. Foster. But Kurt Kamichoff is the manager of anyone who has 2.33 at the beginning of their ID. So we have Richard E. Card, 2.332, and Douglas Williams, 2.331. So hopefully you can see how this numbering works. Once you've got the numbering, and it takes a little bit of time to get this right, just right-click in that column, sort smallest to largest. You will see once we start creating the organisation chart how this is really, really useful to have the employees in this order. The second thing that I did is created a separate column that concatenated the name of the employee with their title. And I'm only doing that because I want both bits of information to appear in the organisation chart. And I wanted the name to appear on a different line to the title. Now, the way I've done that is to use, and I'll click into this cell down here so you can see it a bit easier. I've concatenated B3, the name of the employer, with character 10, which will create a line break within the cell. And then I concatenate that line break with the title of that employee. So this will mean that you will have the name on top of the title in each of the boxes within your organisation chart. So once you have the data prepared, and that's probably the most time-consuming part, what you then want to do is select these concatenated names and titles and copy. Then you can go up to Insert on your ribbon and go to SmartArt, go to Hierarchy, and I'm just going to choose the basic organisation chart, which can be changed at any point. Click on OK. You'll get the beginnings of your organisation chart. Now, if you don't see this little panel here with the bullet points in, what you need to do is click on this button Once you can see this panel, select everything in it. If I click into it, Control A, I will then delete what's in there. Now paste in the data that you've copied from your table, so Control V. And you can see that it's pasted in the name on one line and the job title underneath. At the moment, all these names are at the same level. We need to do a little bit of work to specify the structure of our organization. In other words, who reports to who. What I then suggest you do is you move this whole organization chart to the right of your data. And it may appear off screen initially. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to freeze pane so that the name column appears next to the manager column. To do that, I click in a cell to the right of the name column. I go to View, Freeze Panes, and then I can scroll over until I see the name and the manager column together. Right, click into my organization chart. I can move it even further over. So I can clearly see the name and manager here, and I've got sight of this panel with all the pasted names and job titles in. So we'll start with Charles S. Billings. He reports directly to Anthony Taylor. What you do is you indent Charles S. Billings underneath Anthony Taylor. Then I go to Evan Silberstein and I can see that he reports to Charles S. Billings. So he needs to be indented twice underneath Charles S. Billings. Chris Poundsworthy also reports to Charles S. Billings, so I indent him at the same level as Evan Silberstein. Clark Bickerson reports directly to Anthony Taylor, so he'll be indented at the same level as Charles S. Billings. John T. Foster also reports directly to Anthony Taylor. James Millen reports to John T. Foster, so he needs to be indented underneath John T. Foster. Now hopefully you'll begin to see why it is necessary, or at least useful, to have these names in this order. It just makes it so much easier when it comes to creating the right structure for our organization. Now I'm going to make this panel a little bit higher so we can continue to see most of the names. Jeffrey P. Jones reports to James Millen. I would indent this person underneath James Millen. Now I think you're getting the idea, so I'll go ahead and create the rest of the structure for my organization. Okay, so once you're done with the structure of the organization, you can close down this little pane here and you will see your organization chart. Now this can be resized. And you might want to do a little bit of work in terms of the layout. For example, if I wanted these to hang to the left rather than the right, I'd click into the parent box. I'd go up to the SmartArt Design tab and I'd go to Layout and I could say left hanging. I could also change the layout of James Millen's department. If I click into his box, again up to the Design tab, Layout, and I might say Standard. So the layout is very much up to you. To change the colors in your organization chart, again on the Design tab of your ribbon, go to Change Colors, and then you've got lots of options here which you can play around with. This one's quite nice because it shows people at different levels in different colors, which I think makes the organization chart a little bit clearer to read. Say I wanted to add another employee under James Millen. That's easy to achieve. I need to open up the little pane with all the employee names in. And there's James Millen. What I would do is I'd click at the end of the last employee and I'd press Enter. And that will create another box for James Millen within the organization chart. So I'll put myself in, Chester Tugwell. And if I want to put my job title in, rather than pressing enter, I'm going to use Shift Enter. I'll just put assistant. And there we are, we have the new employee within the organization chart. If I wanted to promote myself to the same level as James Millen, what I could do is outdent. The easiest way to outdent is to use Shift Tab on your keyboard. And then I could put in manager. So at any point you can edit your organization chart just by indenting or outdenting your bullet points. To get rid of a position within your organization chart, just a matter of deleting the bullet point. And it is then deleted from the organization chart. Okay, so that's how to create your organization chart using SmartArt. Let's now look at the next option, which uses a Visio Addin. Now, this solution is only available in Excel 365. I'm going to start off with the same data, but you won't need the concatenated name and title column, so I'll just delete that. We'll add the add-in that's necessary to achieve this. For that, you'll need the Developer tab on your ribbon. If you can't see it, right-click on one of the other tabs, customize the ribbon, and tick Developer. Now, before you do anything on the Developer tab, click into an empty cell in your spreadsheet, then go to Developer, Add-ins, go to Store, search for Visio, and pick this Microsoft Visio Data Visualizer Add. Continue. If you're signed in with a personal email address, you'll have to continue without signing, but it works fine if you do. Otherwise, if you have signed into Excel 365 using your organization's email address, you won't have this option here. It should sign you in automatically. So I'm going to go to Organization Chart, and I'm just going to use the Quick Start Organization Chart. Create a diagram for me. Now I'm just going to move this out of the way so we can see the underlying data for our organization chart. So this chart is using this dummy data. And the important thing to note here are the columns that you need in order to create this organization chart. Employee ID, well, we already have that, that's fine. Name, we have that. Title, we have that. Manager ID and role type. Okay, now we have manager, but we don't have manager ID. So what we need to do is pick up these IDs within column A for each of these managers, and we can use an XLOOKUP to do that. So I'm going to use XLOOKUP to look up all of these manager names within the name column, returning values from the ID column. Close the bracket, press enter, and it spills its results into the cells below. Now I want to convert these to values because I don't actually need this manager column. So I'm going to copy and paste values, home, paste values. Then I can get rid of the manager column. And I can call this manager ID. You can now see I have the correct manager ID for each of these positions. I can copy this data into this table. So I just press enter, paste in. If I just move this out of the way, the only column that hasn't been completed for us is the role type. The role type actually changes the color of the boxes within your organization chart, so it's quite a good column to complete. If the options in here are not suitable for you, so I might, for example, want director rather than executive, this is what you do. You select all those cells, go to data, data validation in the data tools group, and here is the list of values that it's using. So I could change executive to director, for example. Click on OK. And now it will show director. So that can be a director. We could have that as director as well, that as position. So I'm just going to go down here and add all the appropriate role types. Now, once you're done, you need to refresh your organization chart, and you can do that by just clicking on this refresh button, then resize, and you will get your organization chart. Now, it is quite small, I think, on the screen. So to get around that, what I've tended to do is zoom out on my spreadsheet and then enlarge the organization chart. Now, if you're using this method to create an organization chart, one of the benefits is that it's really easy to add new records, new positions within your chart. I'm just going to move this out of the way so I can see the underlying table. And I'm going to add myself as a director. That'll be 2.5. Chester Tugwell, Director of Videos, and I'm reporting to Manager ID 1, and I'd be a director. Now if I drag this back into view and refresh, you'll see that I now appear in the organisation chart, so it's that easy to update. Okay, so that's all I wanted to cover in this particular video. 2 ways of creating organisation charts in Excel. Thanks very much for listening. Hopefully you found it useful. If you have, please subscribe, and I'll see you next video.